Redcliffe. But before we have a look at that game, let's have a look at the points board and how they shaped up after the final round. And we'll see on top of the table we had brothers Toowoomba and Winner Manly all on 10 points. Redcliffe, they just made the final 4 on points for and against. And we had Redcliffe, Diehards and Norths all on 8 points. Then Ipswich on 6 along with the Gold Coast and Souths. Central Queensland, they really did well up there on 4 points. Wide Bay on 3, Easts on 2, North Queensland on 2 and Western Suburbs on the bottom of the table on 1 point. OK, to the game tonight. First up, let's go and have a look at that brothers lineup. And on paper, well, it's a beauty. That forward pack is pretty tough. And of course, Steve Carter will be out to impress selectors. He should be at his ferocious best tonight. A real touch of class in the back line. Clinton Moore's roving role just might cause the Redcliffe defence a few problems out there tonight. The Dolphins, they've been getting better and better. And it's not a bad side, this one. It's pretty tough and hard up front. And of course, led by their international back rower in Brian Niebling. JB Sandy at half has been the player to spark the Dolphins back line, but I don't think brothers will be giving him too much latitude out there tonight. Okie doke, we're all set for the kick-off. Let's go to the highlights of that first game now. Your commentators, they're Alan Thomas and Mick Vivers.
Referee Ian Irwin starts the game, and the first semi-final of the Winfield State League is underway. Brothers and Redcliffe. And that's the brother skipper Gary Smith taking it almost to the quarterway before he's put to ground. And emphasis on the word ground. A lot of rain in Brisbane. And it'll be interesting to see how these fellows handle the wet conditions. And I'd say it looks as though Jim Stafford may have even injured a hamstring in the first tackle. He's limping around in back play. And he is hobbling like an old chook. And he is down on the ground as Redcliffe come up with possession. It's Lex Neal to play it to Gordon Barwick.
The injured brother player is someone like Jim Stafford.
There's Stafford. Something wrong with his knee by the look of it. And he did that in the first tackle of the match as Brian Niebling holds on to the pass. So just to find out how wet it is, as Redcliffe kicked this ball downfield, we go to the sideline and here's Chris Bombers.
Thank you, Alan. Well, it is nice and wet at the moment here, and while the rain's holding off, the ground's still soaked and very damp on the sidelines. Now, the coaches have had their word. Brothers coach Ross Strudwick says, kick the ball, play it in their 22. If we get down there, put up the bomb and the chip kicks, put pressure on their final defensive line. If you do that, he says, we can win. Redcliffe coach Darryl Vanderveld, on the other hand, he said, we've got a game plan, we've rehearsed it all week, forget about the wet weather, let's concentrate on that game plan. If we can stick to that, says Darryl Vanderveld, then the Dolphins can win.
Well, we'll see if all that comes to fruition. We'll keep an eye on the ground. It looks beautiful from above, and on your monitor, it looks as green as a billiard table. The brothers get a penalty for a Redcliffe indiscretion. And there's no doubt about it, Lang Park does look green, but it's a little bit slushy underneath, and you can just see there when we had that ground shot a couple of clods where Brett Rolls actually tackled Grogan only a few moments ago, or tackled Jeff Burns rather, at a few clods did arise. That's a good kick from Burns, finds touch inside the quarter. So maybe the best handling side in this match tonight will come up trumps. Vince O'Brien to take it forward. Runs into Canescu and Cow. Smith to Greg Smith. Stafford. Put to ground by Bleakley. Back in A grade tonight after injury. Greg Smith, Eric Kennedy. You see a lot of that slipping and sliding tonight. Gary Smith put to ground. Gill to Greg Smith. To Grogan. Oh, and Tony Ray hitting a perler from Brett Rolls. He has got him as clean as a whistle. And here it comes. Grogan, little short pass to Ray, and Brett Rolls got him under the jawline. He's okay. Didn't hit him flush around the head, got him under the jaw. Tony Ray just having a little bit of a look around. Well, that's about as high as you can get. Referee Ian Irwin has seen it fit not to remove Brett Rolls from the field of play for a sin bin, and brothers come up with a penalty with Ray now getting his senses back to attempt the penalty goal. He's only about 10 to 12 metres in from touch. There's Brett. Playing a lot more vigorously than he used to, Brett Rolls. Had a fair game here the other day in defence. "23 metres out. And that's no good, but it'll go dead. So, no goal.
No goal.
Right.
Sandy. Cut north to ribbons here on Sunday, Jamie Sandy. Referee Ian Irwin, as Eddie Ward was here on Sunday, very strict on letting the player get up and play the ball. Eddie Ward here on Sunday would not let the... There it has been held down by Stephen Carter and Gary Smith underneath. So Redcliffe just outside the quarterway. Jeff Doyle. Sandy. Brown. Dave Brown would have a point to prove tonight. He'd be disappointed missing out on the Resonance match here on Wednesday night. Sandy to Bleakley. And that's the quarterway inside is where he'll play it. Through Canescu. Brothers a mile offside. The players in question, Eric Kennedy and Gary Smith. They were a mile offside, and this should be the first points of the match. 11 minutes gone. And Trevor Benson coming up to put first points on the board, and he should be able to do that without too much problem. Already Tony Ray has had an attempt at a penalty. He's come off the side of the boot. I don't think Benson will miss this. He's right in front of the sticks. Hits it. Up and over. So Redcliffe go to a lead of 2 points to 0. Stafford playing it to Ray. Ball going to ground. Gary Smith the culprit. Might be interesting to note, Mick, that the balls that these fellows are using tonight are brand new. Now, it is a tradition that the Winfield State League semi-finals use with new balls to break them in for the State of Origin series. Hello, and away goes Rowan Teven. Here's Clinton Moore. He's lined him up and has banged him in the touch. Good work, Clinton Moore. Oh, he lined him up from a long way out. He's got tremendous speed, this bloke, and he always had him in his sights like a 303.
Yes, we didn't see the beautiful work from the halfback, Jamie Sandy, to set him on his way from the base of the ruck. But that's cover defence from a speedy fullback. Teven went for the corner. Here's Sandy on the run as we go back to play.
He's about 12 metres out from the line. Cherry. Niebling.
Oh.
The nick's okay at the moment. He'll get up and play it. Canescu. Sandy. Having a sprint, Jamie Sandy. Hit ball and all and nearly knocked out by Clinton Moore. Clinton Moore has bowled him over. Clean as a whistle and a good ball and all tackle. The ball goes loose, scrum to form, and Sandy gets to his feet.
Here it is. We'll have a look at Jamie Sandy. He thinks he spots a gap. The gap's there. Boombo, ball and all. And actually, I thought that kid's defence more might have been just a little dodgy, but he's just proved to me that he can take them ball and all. Even though it was Jamie Sandy, he went in fearlessly.
Redcliffe come up with a penalty. Clinton Moore, they said last year he was a bit suspect in defence. There hasn't been much wrong with his defence this season or tonight so far.
Good cover defence and very good straight on.
Niebling taking that forward, took it forward strongly. Now it's with Cowell. They're only 5 metres out, Redcliffe. They lead 2-0. Sandy, Benson, and then Brown. Still going, Dave Brown.
Did not look for his supporter. Looked at him, but was no intention of passing.
Doyle puts his foot into touch. And the scrum to form. Greg Smith to feed.
Scrums are 3-all at present.
Brothers' defence tested here. Greg Smith trying to get away from Bleakley. He couldn't. Gill.
He looks very happy as they batter each other, but don't know why. He thinks his brothers' forwards are going to come out on top by the end of the evening, I do believe. What do you think?
I think they will.
Good Lord, he nearly kicked his head.
Jamie Sandy.
Tell you what, Bleakley's head was very close to the end of that boot. There he is with the ball now.
Bleakley to play it. Canescu. Niebling. That's the quarterway. Canescu. Sandy. Benson. Well picked up, Jeff Doyle. He might go into touch. No, he stays in the field of play. That's good work. Now it's with Cherry. Last tackle. Benson. It's not a bad kick, but O'Brien took it well. He got plenty for his corner from Doyle. And Brothers really having to defend here.
Here's the replay. O'Brien taking it beautifully. He was going with the ball. He was hunched up, protected. Not in any real great trouble to get into. No, what is it? Twilight Land?
No Man's Land?
No, No Man's Land. I was thinking more of Twilight area. And I tell you what, that's the quickest we've ever seen Brothers drop out.
Neil made Carter's job quite easy. Niebling. 20 minutes gone in the first half. Redcliffe lead 2-0 through Sandy and Benson. Inside to Brown. Canescu. Benson. Brothers tested again. Redcliffe applying the pressure. Probably two of the best defensive teams in the competition out here tonight. Cowell. That's hope. And it was almost faith and charity. Bleakley came up with it. And Brothers a mile offside. Carter a mile offside on the play of the ball.
Would you take the 2 points or would you go for a try?
I know what I'd be doing.
2 points.
In these conditions, 2 points is as good as 20.
Well,
And Redcliffe have really tested Brothers right out here.
a good defensive side would test the Brothers team. There's Carter, who's just standing in camera there for the moment. They're a big, tough side, Brothers. And there's Carter. There he is again, if you missed him. Blue headband, pinning the ears back, ready to roll.
If you have a look at Brothers' defensive record in the Winfield State League, they've scored 30 tries for and 7 against. Redcliffe have scored 33 for and 18 against. So Brothers certainly have got a terrific defensive record. Here's Benson. Over. That's 4-0. 4-0 Redcliffe lead Brothers in the first semi-final of the Winfield State League. Barry Gomersall, the man who will be taking care of the second semi-final here tonight, the match between Toowoomba Clydesdales and Wynnum Manly, having a little look over Lang Park.
Tell you what, I always love to see Barry Gomersall here because he's another bloke who can relate to noses, because I know I've got a big one. I'm happy to see him sitting in the stand.
Vince O'Brien getting out of Jeff Doyle's tackle. He makes it over the quarterway. Now Moore.
A good referee too, I might add.
Yes, sure is.
Yes, always lets everything happen and lets the boys play football in those big games. And I mean play. There he is again. He lets them play the game and get it out of their system. And if you're faint-hearted and he's the referee, well, you just don't go out there.
Here's Brothers with a chance if they can move it. But Grogan's hitting a very good tackle by Jamie Sandy.
Jove, they're coming up in great defence, Redcliffe, aren't they?
Sandy playing his heart out. There's another tackle to Jamie Sandy. Here he goes again, the little halfback. He's chasing everything inside. Even diving there at Greg Smith. He got the pass away. Lex Neal to play it. 4-0. The Dolphins lead. Teven to play it to Canescu. Back to Teven. He's lost it. Stafford, or Elliott rather, to play it. Back to Gary Smith.
By Jove, I thought Jeff Burns could have been offside there. Not in that particular area, but when he was walking back from the prior tackle, I thought he was about 4 metres offside. That's not what I'm talking about, as Dave Brown goes swish with the elbow and gives him an ear rub as well. If it wasn't warmed up before that, it is now.
Burns finds touch. Good kick. 15 metres out from the line. And the Redcliffe defence about to be tested. Bly Davidson takes it within 3 metres. Elliott takes it to 2 metres. Carter takes it to 1 metre. So mathematically speaking, one more pass and they might score. Gary Smith goes to ground. Ray to distribute. Greg Smith. Gill. Short pass to Moore. It's gone to Jeff Burns. And Brothers have finally cracked the Redcliffe defence. It's now 4-all.
And you were only one pass away from being correct, AT. And tell you what, not a bad bit of work from Brothers here, because this Redcliffe defence is red hot. There's Gill with the ball. Short pass on. Moore reckons he was going to make it, but Burns definitely made sure. Cover defence, not too hot, although Burns was over the line at that particular juncture. And Sandy coming in.
Well, they spun the ball beautifully here. They got rid of it. They quite obviously played to a set plan to get it close to the ruck.
Moore drew 2 men there, and that was the end of the line for Redcliffe.
Grogan, a very nice short pass to Clinton Moore, and Jeff Burns over for the try. Here's Ray's attempted conversion, just as we see the replay again. In fact, Ray's going to line up the ball again. Jeff Burns puts the balls down. It's his 5th try in the Winfield State League. Jeff Burns. There's Ray's conversion. Up and over. So Brothers go to a lead of 6 points to 4. You're watching the Winfield State League semi-final.
Saturday night's the night I like it. Saturday night's alright.
Don't miss Hey Hey It's Saturday this week.
It's a comedy.
It left Susie Quattro speechless.
Words fail me.
Murray Fields was enjoying it.
No, I am.
Everyone was having a good time.
Crowd yelled out for more.
Speaking of silly,
Hey Hey's back with more madness.
what a weirdo.
With guests Mamba Rock. 6:30 Saturday on Channel 9.
Brown taking it forward.
Tell you what, he's a bloke I'd have throwing around in the back end of a State of Origin side as a forward. He can be a lock forward, second row, front row. I reckon you could nearly hook that bloke. That's Tapia I'm talking about. He's got a bit of ability.
Benson.
Only thing against him is his size.
Tapia.
There he goes, straight away, passes it to a bloke who drops it.
So much for the raps.
Yes, I know. No, he passed it. Tapia got it, passed it to a guy. You have a look. Have a look. Stands straight away, stands the defence up, takes a step, and look at that. Gives it to a character who drops it, who will remain nameless. Well, now there's a thing. Look at that. In our day when we were injured, we were never attended to by persons like that.
Well, maybe
it was usually a doctor who had no feeling whatsoever, was the most callous brute they could pull, and usually a bloke who'd failed medicine about 3 times.
Well, there's a bit of TLC coming in for Brian Niebling. He might feel a bit better. The pain might be eased. Brothers taking it out from the quarter or towards the quarter. Carter making the mistake. He was telling me during the week, Steve Carter, that there's one thing he can't stand on a football field. He can't stand making mistakes. Well, he just made one. We'll see if he makes up for it as Tapia takes it out wide. Sandy. Cal. Anybody's. Benson will pick it up. Bleakley. Tapia. Well, Redcliffe going around in 6s and 7s at the moment. Sandy. The danger man. That was forward a mile. Steve Bleakley offside.
I'll tell you what, Jamie Sandy, here he goes. But boy, he beats the first line of defence. Actually, if he was falling there, I think it was called for too, that ball, unfortunately. There's Sandy.
He's had a crackerjack first half.
I tell you what, he's playing like a man inspired. He must have watched Spina playing down the coast the other evening.
Yes, well, we'll see Spina in action on Wednesday night in all probability. Of course, there's 3 players to be dropped out of the squad, the 20-man squad. But if Spina comes and produces the form that he showed for Eastern Suburbs against Canterbury Bankstown at the Tweed on Wednesday night, he certainly will be pressing for State of Origin claims.
Likes the damp conditions.
Cherry.
It looks like a pull-through too, Spina, doesn't he, for a Daisy air rifle?
Not a lot of him.
No.
Oh, Rolls was a long way away, but he's got away. Brothers' defence too good. Neil. Someone better duck and get out of the way. Bleakley. Inside to Cherry. Back to Tapia. Will he get there? My word, he will. Good try, Ashley Tapia.
It was, but it was a forward pass to Tapia. We'll have a little look at it.
Redcliffe have cracked the defence and now they lead by 8 points to 6, but McVeevers, you don't think that should have been awarded?
No fear. That was a forward pass. Well, we'll have a look at the behind. You can't see from this. Long pass. That was a bit desperation stuff. But this is the goodness. Now, here it is. This is the one that was forward to Tapia. We won't see it, but I tell you what, the bloke has great acceleration. He got that flat-footed, and I don't care what you say. I've got big raps on him. Now we'll see it. Here's the one. He does his work. Steps inside. Now here it comes to Tapia. Oh, we've got it. Missed it again. Maybe we'll get it on the next shot. Not a good tackle from the last line of defence.
Screaming for it there, Tapia. As Benson comes in.
The angles don't show it, but tell you what, of course he's a fresh player. Oh, gee whiz, that was... a young player there, good calibre. We've been giving him a rap for defence.
And Redcliffe go to the break, leading Brothers by 10 points to 6.
Well, what a tough, hard-fought first half. The Dolphins leading Brothers by 10 points to 6. Let's go back now to the highlights of the second stanza. Your commentators, Alan Thomas and Mick Veevers.
Second half about to get underway. Redcliffe leading Brothers by 10 points to 6. As it goes down to Neil, he'll run the ball out from the quarterway. And that's where he'll go to ground. As Redcliffe try and get out of their quarter with Ashley Tapia, we'll go to the sideline and Chris Bommels.
Well, with me now, Redcliffe coach Darryl Vandervelde. Well, Darryl, up by 4 points at half-time.
Yeah, reasonably happy with the score at this point in time, Chris.
What's the plan from here on in?
We'll just keep the pressure up. Pressure's been excellent in the first half. I think the last 20 minutes will really come to the fore, mate. The last 20 minutes, I think our blokes are just going to come over the top of this squad.
Can you maintain the break?
I think we can maintain the pressure.
OK, Redcliffe coach Darryl Vandervelde.
Thanks, Chris. You might notice too that that Brothers have ditched their first half jerseys and they're in their normal Alpha Micros for the second half. As Brothers get possession, Moore gives it to Grogan. Comes in field and he's easily put to ground.
Grogan probably could have given it on to Moore there. Oh, dear me, and having a little peep at the opposition. Putting it on the ground.
Gary Smith, the culprit. Sandy to feed.
I tell you what.
Neil. Put to ground just outside the quarter. Barwick. Cherry.
You see that Brothers defence swarming in that sort of semicircle type of thing. They're at it again, and Redcliffe only have to get outside that semicircle and Brothers are in trouble.
Cal getting up slowly to his feet to play it. It's with Benson, Cherry, or Bleakley rather. Still going Bleakley, still going Steve Bleakley. Brothers defence hanging on.
Great run from Bleakley, great run.
Rolls. Back to Benson, and that's a muck up. Sandy. Pass to Barwick. Last tackle coming up about 4 metres out. Canescu on his own, and he is held up. No try. And we'll go to the sideline, I think, and we got Chris Bomulus with Ross Strudwick.
With me at the moment, Brothers coach Ross Strudwick. Well, Ross, what did you have to say to the guys at half-time?
Well, there's not too much you can say. I think at this stage, Redcliffe looked like they got the wood on us. They've probably held the ball for 30 minutes out of the 40, and we've had to do a lot of defence. And in these heavy conditions, I think the side that has got the football has got a fair better in this second half. So, you know, for Brothers at this stage, it's not looking real crash hot.
Have they carried out your instructions so far?
I think they've done it pretty well. They've made a few errors that, you know, we shouldn't have made. We've dropped the ball inside our own half when the ball should have been kicked. But generally, I've been happy with them. I think Redcliffe's playing, you know, darn good football, and
well, we have a look there as the ball comes down.
I thought it was going to go out in full. Yeah, that would be an error. But you know, I'm happy with the way our guys are going. As I said, this half I think is going to tell on them, because, you know, having to tackle for so long in that first half, they've got to be feeling a bit tired, and Redcliffe have got to be just that little bit fresher.
What about the State League jerseys?
What about the State League jerseys?
They're not wearing them at the moment.
No, probably if we was a financial Sydney club, we'd be able to afford 2 sets of State League jerseys, but we can't. So, you know, being so heavy, we've had to revert back to our local club jerseys for this half, and you know, it's still Alpha Micro, still our sponsor, so there should be no problems there. Not like as if we've changed sponsors or anything like that.
Jerseys or not, can they win?
I'd like to think we can. As I say, Brothers is a good side. You know, at the start of the game, we didn't need any luck, but now we do need a little bit of luck, and I think it's going to be a hard one to win from here.
OK, Brothers coach Ross Strudwick, and he needs a bit of luck at the moment.
Well, we'll see if he gets it. Redcliffe lead by 10 points to 6.
What about the jerseys, he said. He'd get out of hell with a toothpick, wouldn't he? He's unbelievable.
Well, it's not up for us to decide what jerseys they wear.
Oh,
oops.
Close to a forward pass to Moore, but he hangs on.
And then he plays it to Grogan. I'll tell you what, Barwick was very close to being offside.
And the changeover, Brothers are in trouble here.
If I'd like to have a look at that replay and find out where Barwick started his running movement from. If he was onside, he was onside by a whisker. Cow. Redcliffe really putting the pressure on now. 15 metres out. Dave Brown for the line. Just held up. Canescu. Sandy. Put down. No, not held. Still strides for the line. Can't get there. He'll play it. Canescu won't get over. Last tackle coming up. Now they decide to let it to go to Benson. Went along the line to Barwick. Sandy.
He's been very slippery, Sandy, all evening.
Slippery more than just because of the wet ground. He's really played well. Cow.
This is the type of area when Redcliffe should switch play occasionally, and they'd catch that Brothers defence napping.
Now they decide to move it. Rolls. The ball went to Barwick. And Moore puts him down. Well inside the quarter. Brown to Neal. They keep it alive with Tapia, and then he found Brett Rolls. 2 metres out. Canescu to play it. Sandy. Benson. And that's a bit big.
Dear. Well,
and even though you might think you take the 2, this may not be a bad ploy.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with it. I'm always for the attack and take the chance to get the extra points, and that's what they're doing, and I go right along with it.
Stafford pulled down only about a metre out. Carter, he's put it down again, Steve Carter. Redcliffe coming up with possession.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy game. Being wet, you know, the players are falling over a lot, and the guys coming over the top sort of hit you a bit harder. So, you know, it's a fairly hard game, but, you know, we're in front. So I'll have a kick away for a bit longer.
OK, mate, all the best.
Thanks, Chris.
That's a bad mistake by Lex Neal. He's been caught in brothers with the changeover with Carter. And he won't get the ball down. He's pulled down about 1 centimetre out from the line. That's where he'll play it. That's a bad mistake by Redcliffe. Fundamentals. And they're going to come up with possession.
That was a knock-on from Redcliffe. Oh, yes, and he's picked it up. When they dive forward to get the ball, they knocked it forward, then recovered it again. There's nothing wrong with their tactics. Here it is. Now, you watch. That's just there where it was knocked on. It was touched.
Brothers winning the scrum against the feed. The Dolphins are going to be tested here. Brothers sense a bit of blood here. They need to get over the line. They haven't been down here too often.
They need to get themselves into some sort of attacking pattern.
Stafford taking the ball within 8 metres of the line. On the blind side to Gary Smith. And that wasn't a bad decision by Ian Irwin. Even from where he was, he picked it. A ball had gone forward. Brothers win another one. Drives the call. Here's Moore. Coming infield, Clinton Moore. And Sandy barrels him. Has he had a game here tonight, Jamie Sandy, or what? Brogan. Brett Rolls has got him.
Great
and Redcliffe are defending.
Rolls.
The driven brothers back 15 metres. Carter. Speared into the ground. Redcliffe defends to the 4. Stafford. Brothers lined out on this particular tackle. They'll take it towards the sticks with Elliott. Play on. Another one for being offside, so Redcliffe can't do anything right. What do they do? I'm going to have a think about it.
I think they've had enough of having a crack. They might take the 2 points, or do they just continue? There's Strudwick. He's giving orders. He should have learnt semaphore, or maybe he shouldn't be like Platts, have a 2-way radio up there, or whatever.
So brothers are going to press on. Bly Davidson. Ray. Kennedy. Can Redcliffe hold on? Will the Dolphins' defence crackle? Will it hold? 10-6 the lead for Redcliffe. Passes like that won't see brothers score tries. Redcliffe doing a good job keeping them out.
Doing a tremendous job.
And another penalty. Not letting the player get up. And I think this could be the 2 points.
Here it is. Can't quite see it.
Well, I'm keeping my eyes on the brothers' players. There's a lot of indecision out there at the moment. Is Carter going to take a tap? He is. They're a metre out. If Redcliffe can withstand this, they've done a big job. They've been defending for a while now. And Elliott's put it down.
Top marks to Redcliffe. They have really hammered and been hammered by brothers. And I tell you what, they look keen to go on all night. In defence, that is.
Redcliffe have tackled and tackled over the last 7 or 8 minutes, and they want to get out of their own quarter. In fact, this has been a very good defensive game. 10-6 the score in favour of Redcliffe. That was the score at half-time, and both teams have defended tenaciously in the second half. Now they get rid of it.
All onside, all onside.
Greg Smith took it well.
Dave Brown, was it, that knew that?
Now they decide to spin it with Grogan. Burns can't get away from Sandy. No one's got away from him all night. Burns didn't like it. Now he's got Clinton Moore, Jamie Sandy.
He's having a blinder, Sandy.
And in comes the touch judge.
I don't know what for. Let's have a look.
Peter Garsky's in.
Something for the push, I think. For the push when Sandy was fiddling around before. Nothing to do with Sandy.
Steve Bleakley, the man.
This is the man. Ooh. Nothing wrong with that. Been a very good game. Very exciting. It had the crowd sitting on the edge of its seats, as well as us, I might add.
Clinton Moore trying to get away in desperation. He's put down by Keogh. Jason Stafford.
And answering a question totally, if Brothers move it to that back line and get lined back deep, they're a chance, but not while they try and run through the forwards, because they're running to Redcliffe, and Redcliffe are just loving it. They haven't got to chase them, see there? Just tackle them as they run. But if Redcliffe have to chase, they'll find it difficult.
Burns. Jack Burns almost away from Benson. Grogan. Gill putting it up. Sandy's the man on the spot again and takes it well. And Brothers outside, men offside.
Valley is replaced by number 17, Redcliffe Dolphins.
So Redcliffe have to hold on for 6 minutes. It's been scoreless in the second half. Dave Brown. Big Dave Brown over the halfway mark. Tapia looking for work. Down he goes. Now it's with Keogh. No, it doesn't. It went to Cowell. Benson rolls. Lex Neal coming into the back line. They go towards Tapia, back to Benson, or Bleakley rather. The ball goes forward. Doyle couldn't take it. Just having a look at this reshuffle where Donnelly's going. Neal's gone to outside centre to replace Barwick.
That was quick work too from Tapia, and just unfortunate that he was nearly tackled without the ball on that occasion.
Brothers come up with possession. Greg Donnelly's gone to fullback for Redcliffe. Gill, Grogan. They have to throw it, Brothers. Clinton Moore. Lex Neal's got him lined up. Never looked like missing him either. Probably two of the fastest men on the paddock for fullbacks. He showed Moore a little bit of room and always had him nailed. McAlane. There is 4.5 minutes remaining. Redcliffe lead 10 points to 6. It's been a great second half. And then a fence up on Robbie Grogan.
Brothers number Jim Stafford replaced by number 15, Brett Williams.
Jim Stafford, number 13 off. Brett Williams on for Brothers. So all reserves are on. Sandy again, the man on the spot. Donnelly. That's the halfway mark. Keogh. Brown. Still going, Dave Brown. He'll get up and play it. They're outlined wide here, Redcliffe. Benson They don't put him on the ground. There is 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Neil. That'll find touch. 2 metres out from the line. 2.5 minutes remaining is where Steve Bleakley will play it. Greg Kinescu, broken nose and all, gives it to Tapaya. It's one out sort of stuff now. Sandy to Keogh. Standing to Kinescu. Field goal coming up from Benson. Hits it. Up. And not over. Play to come back to the quarterway.
Actually, I think that was a mine being passed. There was blokes diving out of the road. Here it is. Blokes getting out and definitely no field goal.
Grogan. He's away. The cover was too good from Keogh. That's the halfway mark. There is 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. And Brothers have got men over. But what a great tackle from Benson. The ball gone forward. Brothers had men to burn out wide. But it was Trevor Benson who came in and he stopped what could have been a try.
And he could see it coming. Well done, Benson. That's maturity in a player. Picking it up quickly. There's the errors, 21-16. So, you know, the scoreboard denotes that. 10-6. Redcliffe's way.
Redcliffe's ball. Jamie Sandy. I think you'll find they'll play it pretty safe, Redcliffe. They'll just ruck it up the middle for 6. Keogh.
That's when you get into trouble, you know, as much as you try and play it safe. In the wet conditions, liable to lose it.
Brown. Well, Brothers have given it their best shot. They threw everything at Redcliffe in the second half, as Redcliffe has done to Brothers. Donnelly going to ground. But Redcliffe look as though they're going to hold on. What about a quick summary, Mick? We have 50 seconds remaining.
Well, the Dolphins definitely deserve the win so far this evening, as far as I can see. Forwards and Kinescu and Dave Brown in this second half have had big games. Stephen Bleakley, always the unsung hero. As we see Redcliffe going on,
and there's
Bleakley
the unsung hero
going in
over
to score.
Underneath the post. And as if it was copy script for you, McVeevers, the unsung hero, Steve Bleakley, has played his heart out and rewarded. And a smile to the coach and Darryl Vandervelde. Well done, Redcliffe. Well done, Redcliffe.
Here
they
it is.
now lead by 14-6.
Here it is.
Donnelly, the man that started it.
He flicks it out. Look at this. Watch the flick pass. She's a ripper. And now he knew he was coming to. Bleakley was nearly run over by his own men. And there it is as the final hooter sounds. The replay finishes and Redcliffe have defeated their Brothers. Here's the last replay. Donnelly. Tell you what, watch this flick pass at home. Look at it. And he knew he was coming, or one of them was coming.
Mick, it might be interesting to note as we watch Benson add the extras, and does so. So Redcliffe defeat Brothers by 16 points to 6. The tries from Redcliffe, one try a minute before half-time, another one a minute before full-time.
Not a bad time to score them.
Well, a nice tough one in 7. They also won the scrums 11-10. Now, there were 2 tries to Redcliffe, 1 to Brothers, 4 goals to Redcliffe, 1 to Brothers, and the final score 16 points to 6.